Probably not, eh? Billy Russell's here!
How's it clapping?
11 out of 10 clap. Billy Russell, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Very good. Hey, so what I did is on the way down here, I actually wrote some post-it notes.
Oh, we have notes.
We do. So, they've got 3 different types of topics we can talk about.
Okay.
So, I've got the blue topics, the green topics, and I've got the pink topics. Which would you like to start with?
Let's go with my favourite colour, pink.
Perfect. Pink is all about music.
Okay.
So
we can talk about music.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first episode of this whole A Bit of Banter thing, we had a musician on. You're practically a musician.
Without the skills, though.
Have you got any musical skills? Are you a musician of any sort?
I can sort of play the bass.
Yeah.
I used to work in a school and all these kids would go off to music class and I've got like 11, 12-year-olds who are just rocking out and I'm like, these kids are tiny and they're amazing. I'm like, I can do that. And so I used to go to their music teacher after school hours and then just get the same lessons all the kids were getting. And then one day whipped it out and was like, look what I can do.
I just came from home and my little brother, who's 13, my dad's been teaching him guitar for the last few weeks. And he's actually getting really, really good. And it's really unfair because I want to be good at guitar as well. But I don't have the patience.
No, that's why you do it as a kid. I'm like really angry at my parents for not forcing me to do that as a child.
Yeah.
Because then by this age, you'd have the skills.
Yeah.
It's harder to learn. It's like the old dog, new tricks.
Do you run out of patience to learn, do you reckon, as you get older?
Not so much patience. Maybe you run out of time. Like when you're a kid, you got nothing to do. Like you go to school and you come home and you watch like, Widget. And then you can play guitar for hours. Whereas now it's like, I've got to go here, I've got to do this, I've got to work.
Yeah.
And so your time for learning a new skill, you prioritize it towards the bottom.
With 2014 being sort of a new leaf for you, do you reckon there's any hobbies you want to take up?
I'm packing house up at the moment and I found my old bass guitar.
Right.
I don't even know where it was. It was like hidden somewhere in a corner. I was like, maybe I'll pick that up this year. I've got free time.
Exactly.
I could learn. I do want to start a band.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've always wanted to perform on stage with a band.
What sort of music are we thinking?
Fitting for my new little sort of lease on life. I'm thinking some sort of like scrappy doll wave kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really Australian, jangly guitars.
Brilliant.
Where you're supposed to sound bad because that's what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, so Birds of Tokyo sort of style.
No, because they're aiming for good.
And just missing the mark.
And missing it.
Can you say that now that you're not a music presenter? Can you
Yeah.
say bands are bad, that society thinks are good?
Yes. After I'd handed in my resignation letter and I knew I was leaving, the boss was like, your attitude's really changed on air. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you can tell you're leaving because you're saying whatever you want.
Yeah.
That filter that's once there because I need to maintain a certain level of professionalism is gone because I'm giving up this profession.
Yeah.
So my last couple of weeks, we had a lot of edits. Just to the boss, like, you can't say that, you can't say that, you can't say that.
So doing the live show must have been a little bit more difficult than everything else.
No, it was more fun. I kept them on their toes.
Oh, brilliant. Hey, grab those headphones over there. I want to play a song. I do recall a major moment in your life was meeting One Direction.
Can I give you a scoop before we do
Please
this?
do.
Okay, so I interviewed One Direction when they were here the first time, like 18 months ago. Then I interviewed them again when they came recently on the big tour.
Yeah.
And the interview took place in Melbourne. We're based in Sydney, so we had to fly down. And we landed in Melbourne and there's a phone call from the label and they're like, it's not happening, or it's happening now and you're late and all this sort of stuff. Like, well, no, we're supposed to be here at 6 and the time was changed without us knowing.
Right.
It was a miscommunication because some people were on holidays or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we are rushing to Rod Laver Arena and we're just like, hold them, like they've got sound check and we are just like screaming there. In the meantime, she's like, text through some questions if you've got anything so we can maybe ask them off camera and you'll still get content just in case you miss it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to, I want to be the one to ask them. And we get there and we've just missed them.
No way.
And I'm like, was wearing my Zayn t-shirt as a joke, which I'd always planned to get changed because, hey, I thought I had plenty of time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like this grown man crying into his Zayn t-shirt because I'm told I've missed the interview. So the interview you've seen, and this is the scoop because the boss was never, I wasn't allowed to say this.
Yeah.
The scoop is the interview they've been airing is fake. I've been asking these questions to an empty room and they've just cut them together.
Are you serious?
I did not interview them the second time.
Is that a common practice?
I've never had that before.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to say this on air. There's no rapport. They're not in the same room
Yeah.
as you.
You need that classic banter.
Yes. You need a bit of banter and there was no banter. And it was really bad because I do this thing like, hey, welcome, Louis and Zayn, and it cuts to them and there's no response because they weren't there to welcome.
So they're not impressed with non-existent you.
Yes. Like totally unimpressed. I'm glad I can finally tell the world that.
So with Louis and Zayn, you only got Louis and Zayn, didn't you?
Yeah. Well,
Is that
whoever interviewed them did.
Would that be your favourite two to have?
No.
No?
I'm happy with Zayn. Definitely happy with Zayn.
Yep.
Louis the worst. Louis immature.
Yeah, I get you. Even though he's the oldest.
Yeah, no, isn't that weird?
He's 22 now, I
He's
think?
22, and when I interviewed him the first time, he kept just like giggling and carrying on, and I had to like give him like, the teacher, like, are you right? I just did not direct any more questions to him. But you'd want Harry and Zayn.
Yeah, Harry and Zayn I think is a good compromise.
So
I quite like Niall, but...
Yeah, yeah, no, it's Harry and Zayn.
Have you heard the new album?
Yes.
You like it?
Yes.
You like this one?
Is this one I'm putting on?
Yeah. Can you hear them?
Yeah, don't you reckon that start sounds like Kings of Leon?
Yes. And then the chorus, when it eventually gets there, which we'll check out in a second, it's very Mumford and Sons.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Harry took inspiration from Mumford and Sons.
It's weird that they would want to take influence from Mumford and
That's
Sons.
what I thought. Like, I mean, think of a better band to take influence from.
Having said that, Story of My Life sounds very Mumford.
Yeah.
When I didn't get to do the interview, they still let me hear the song early. I got to hear some of the record and sign all this like waiver and whatever.
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought when I heard it, I was like, this sounds like Mumford just with less banjo.
Yeah.
And I was kind of dismissive. Now I hear Story of My Life, I am turning that up. It's good Mumford.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. I think there is good and bad Mumford. You literally just missed the chorus. You literally just spoke the entire chorus and then put your headphones back on at the very end of it.
At the Mumford part. Oh, really? It was good timing then, really.
I mean, that song, Happily, to me, is a big standout on the album. I mean, a lot of the stuff, it's a great album, and I've listened to it many times, but I feel as if it's very derivative for the sake of being derivative. Like, I feel like songs like Little Black Dress are, whoa, this is 70s rock.
Oh, yeah, they do the whole, like, Def Leppard and stuff. Like some of the
Exactly.
80s shock rock. Yeah.
For the sake of being that sound.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't actually sound natural for them to be doing that sort of stuff. What do you reckon?
Do you reckon they're trying to sound tougher?
Yeah,
Like,
without a doubt.
you can see that in their image and marketing as well. Like, they don't have, like, the braces and the stripy shirts now. It's, like, leather jackets and, and the facial hair and the bad tats. And they're all trying to, like, they're trying to grow up.
And that poses a bit of a problem because, I mean, just being in the UK last month, every lunchbox you see there and every piece of One Direction shitty paraphernalia for £1 from the corner store has those very original images from
old
2010
ones.
on them, like with the braces.
Yes, because I tried to get my friend a Harry Styles cardboard cut out for Christmas. And the only ones I could find, the official merchandise are when he's really young, and no one wants that in their room.
Exactly, that's creepy.
Well, no, so some guy has like solved this problem on eBay. He's got like recent photos that he's turned into cardboard cutouts.
That's awesome.
So you've got like an older, more mature bedroomized Harry Styles.
That's sick.
So it makes a much better present.
We've got a Louis one at home. My sister was a big Louis fan last year. You know what she actually did? She got her name changed on eBay. So things were arriving at the house as Sarah Tomlinson.
That's when you know you're a true fan, when you take the surname. Since leaving V, I want to still be able to watch the shows and like tweet in and give my criticisms.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like the sad, bitter guy who has quit and can't let go. So I since started a new Twitter account,
Right.
from which I can post whatever I want somewhat anonymously, despite the fact I'm now kind of ruining my anonymity.
Yeah, do you want to tell us your handle
Well,
and everything?
I won't tell you the first name of the handle. It is one of my middle names, but
Right.
that leaves that open. And the surname was based on like the future surname, so it is Styles. So I have a new Twitter account which is something Styles.
Okay, I only presume there is about 1 billion Styles
I know.
accounts in the world, so I'll just go through every single one of them and I'm sure I'll find you.
But not a lot of them are 27-year-old men sitting on their couch depressed with life. Most of them are very perky, keen 12-year-old girls.
Yeah.
I've been using my official account to retweet the new one so that the new one gets traction. I have a lot of free time on my hands now.
How good is it as well, being, are you technically unemployed now?
Yeah, very.
Being unemployed and being verified on Twitter.
Yeah, do you know, I actually thought, do I lose my blue tick? Do I lose my fancy blue tick if Twitter knows what I'm doing with my life, i.e. nothing? Is that what happens?
Apparently not. So
You've got it
apparently
for life?
You've got it for life if it's there. But Charlotte Dawson got hers taken away when she left her management company.
How?
I don't know. It just went as soon as her management company dropped her. So despite the fact she's
So you
doing
can
amazing
lose
things,
it?
Yeah, it seems so. And also, if you change your handle, it automatically goes.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I actually thought that I could change my name to like Justin Bieber and spell it a bit differently, put an underscore in there, have my photo as Bieber, and people click on my page to the blue tick and just assume it's the real deal.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I thought maybe I could just mess with them a little bit.
You know what they do? I remember around the election time, there was a fake Julia Gillard account going around. And basically what it was JU, capital IA, Gillard.
Okay.
And if you do a capital I, it looks like an L when it comes up on the timeline. And it looks like an L when you click on it. And you can only when you copy paste it and use another font, you can actually see that it's a capital I. So if you manage to find a letter of
I
styles,
was already
that you
going
can
in
do
there
it.
going, damn, there's no L in Justin Bieber. Maybe I'll do it as Harry Styles.
Yeah, you could.
Because one thing I didn't know about Twitter is that when you get the blue tick, and this was all like, I'm on the train losing my shit all excited about,
Yeah.
oh my God, I have this blue tick.
I'm verified now as well. It's amazing.
Look, and what we can do now is you can search your @replies just through verified.
Yeah.
So if you were, for example, Harry Styles and you had to filter through thousands or millions of replies and comments,
Yeah.
you would probably use that function. You would probably see, oh, who with the blue tick is writing to me? So I figure my chances of Harry reading my notes have increased a million since I've got this blue tick.
That's it.
So I write to him all the time, hoping that if he ever clicks that, sort by verified, he'll see my stuff.
And then he'll click your display picture and go, he's all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow him.
Do you tweet like no one's watching?
Yes, absolutely. And no one probably is watching.
I mean, sometimes you put something out there and you're trying to get a reaction of some sort and you're having fun or you're bored or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when people like make stuff too much for an audience, and like I see that so often, especially with like TV personalities and whatever, and
Of
it's
course.
like, just be yourself.
Thank you for that. And that is what is really sort of getting my goat at the moment, is people that are tweeting for the sake of tweeting. And people that are using Facebook for the sake of using Facebook. I just made a tweet like 20 minutes before we started doing this. If you have a personality page on Facebook, I have one, and a lot of people do, and it's a great way to connect with fans and stuff. Fans, all two of them, for me. If you have a personality page, but all you post is regurgitated memes that are all over the rest of the internet, what's the point? It's not your personality.
This is true.
It's just memes.
It's funny. I have a Facebook personality page, which I've tried to shut down and it's not working for some reason. I never really used it. I only used that because the boss said we had to.
Yeah.
With Twitter, I'm fine with just I can say whatever I want, but for some reason the Facebook feels like a different beast.
Yeah.
And I never really knew how to operate that. And I sort of just did my one post here and there to keep the boss happy.
Yep.
But the moment I'm like, I don't have to do that anymore, that can go. For me, Facebook's about drunken photos and seeing what your friends are up to. And I feel that's a weird place to start advertising. I don't want my friends to see stuff on my personality page.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, that's when the lines start blurring between you as a person and then your professional side. And then, I don't know.
It's hard to get that balance right. I mean, I personally have been struggling with it a lot because you've probably seen, I'm a very opinionated sort of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff that I'll say on Twitter and my personal Facebook is pretty questionable considering what I do. I'm a music radio announcer. I'm not a bloody shock jock. And yeah, it's hard to get that balance right between wanting to be yourself and wanting to have a voice and wanting to talk about things that people are talking about, but also maintaining that professional standard that you're expected to. It's a tough gig.
Except when you're unemployed and then you can do whatever you want with your blue tick.